before we get on to the offensive part of this, I do just sort of want to go back to the Klay Thompson stuff before we get too far away from it. So we know that Klay had asked Steph and Draymond not to push the front office to re-sign him last summer. Steph didn't exactly say whether or not he abided by Klay's wishes, but we know that that was sort of the ask there. You've reported on this. You also reported before the return that Steve Kerr drove up to the LA area to meet with Klay over the summer, and that Klay, after that meeting with Steve, decided, hey, you know what? I think it's best that it's time for me to leave. Do you truly think that the Warriors wanted him back?
At the right price, and I know it wasn't just at the right price, it was in the right mindset. It needed to be an acceptance of not only, hey, look, my role might fluctuate, bench some nights. Basically, the role that Buddy Hield, who we haven't even mentioned yet, has been playing great. The role that Buddy Hield is currently playing was the role that they would have been okay with Klay Thompson playing, which Buddy Hield's their sixth man. Buddy Hield, when Buddy Hield comes out and he's super hot, he might play 30 minutes. But when Buddy Hield's cold or they're playing like the other night, he didn't play that much against Dallas because it was like they need rangy wing defenders who can survive defensively. If Klay was okay with that and almost needed a voice, like I'm ready for that stage in my career, I think they would have been. I know they would have been fine welcoming back, also at the right price, right? And that was, as they told him, was like, we don't know what the right price is yet because you're going to go after Paul George, you're going to go after Lauri Markkanen, and you're going to see how the books look after you restructure around. And then they said, hey, Klay, we'll come to you with a reasonable offer that probably will fit what your market value is, even if you don't love what your market value necessarily is. But before it even got near that, he just said, no, I'm good. Like, I need a fresh start. And I will say they didn't fight it. You know what I mean? Like, again, I think if Klay was accepting of it all and was happy to come back and wanted to continue this run at the right price, in the right role, in the right mindset, all that, then yeah, sure, they could have stayed together. But Klay didn't want that. And when Klay didn't want that, they were like, if you don't want that, we'll give you a sailor hat, salute and, throw a celebration for you. But, nobody's going to be crying over it.
What was your sense of maybe going into the game versus after the game, how much that mattered to Steph and Draymond? Because I thought Draymond gave a really interesting answer after the game. He said, I don't care. This was Klay's moment. He didn't give a damn about the hats, all that kind of stuff. But then Steph in that fourth quarter just like screaming at the camera and all that stuff. Yeah. I thought that was pretty surprising too.
Yeah, last year was tough. And him not getting the extension in the preseason and everything that followed, which by the way includes, the way kind of Draymond uprooted the season in a lot of ways. Like, it was just dramatic. And I think Steph, while it felt directed at Klay the other night, almost like, well, and he even admitted, it was like you gonna stay here was kind of what he was barking. To me, that was his reminder, like, he knows who's watching, like all the players in the league are watching, all the pundits, everybody, like, that this isn't over. I think part of Klay leaving, it was painted as like the official end of the dynasty, right? Like one of the pillars is gone. We can call it. And I think especially because it wasn't just, hey, they beat Klay Thompson. It was like, hey, we're 9-2. They internally feel really good about. They have since preseason. They went 6-0 in the preseason, and you were kind of getting winks from a lot of people, including Steph and Draymond. Like, feels a little like 2022 here. So I think part of that the other night, again, it was frustration about how it went, but Steph's not like mad at Klay. I think Steph understands the human elements, and Steph's been very diplomatic about it. But I think it was just like, this thing ain't over. He may have decided to leave. That's his choice. Like, you left me. Okay. Kevin Durant left me. Okay. Guess what? We won a title after Kevin Durant left. We can win a title after Klay Thompson left because I'm still here. And Steph, like, he has this, which Klay does too. And Draymond obviously does. It's more outward, but this is the internal fire. It's why he is who he is. And that was the emotional release of it. And then it's funny, you talk to him post game and he's almost wanting to kind of tame it down. Like, we are only 9-2. It might, it's a little bit early to be barking. They could go on a 5-game losing streak, but they feel very good about what they have. And I think that was kind of at the heart of that.